Well, Times Now begins with a major terror alert coming in from Punjab, where a covert plot targeting critical infrastructure has now been exposed. What investigators have uncovered is a coordinated operation with a clear objective: to strike the dedicated freight corridor, one of India's most vital economic arteries, critical to the larger infrastructure that India has built for economic progress. The Punjab police, in fact, working alongside central intelligence agencies, have traced this plot to an ISI-backed Khalistani terror network. In fact, the trigger from a blast on a railway track between Rajpura and Shambhu in Patiala district is what really led to this recovery of massive cache of arms and ammunition. What initially appeared to be a failed sabotage attempt of a railway track has now opened up a much larger network which is now under investigation. And now the moment when the plot collapsed. What really happened? Why did that plot collapse? Let's tell you about the blast which failed. On Monday night, at the railway track between Rajpura and Shambhu, the device detonated. The bomb detonated while it was being planted. In fact, the attacker, we have his picture there on your screens as well. The attacker was killed on the spot as well. His body was later recovered from the site. Investigators have managed to identify this man as Jagrup Singh. He is a resident of Taran Taran. Well, within hours, the band Khalistani Zindabad force claimed responsibility for the attack, and investigators say that he had alleged links to Varis Punjab, which, remember, is an organization which is led by Amritpal Singh, well, who is currently a Lok Sabha MP after he won the elections, and he is lodged at the Dibrugarh jail. Well, the link has now come under very sharp scrutiny, the Varis Punjab link. But as the probe widens, a major breakthrough has now come from Taran Taran district. In fact, acting on intelligence inputs, Punjab police have carried out a raid in a village called Panjwara Khurd. What they have recovered there points to a scale of operation that we get a sense of with the recoveries itself. What did they recover? RPG launcher has been recovered as per the security sources. 2,296 kgs of IED with detonation setup has been reportedly received as well. RDX packets totaling 1.45 kgs have also been recovered. Hand grenade has been found in this cache of arms as well. 3 high-end pistols with ammunition. 2 wireless sets with headphones. Gives you a sense of their arsenal, gives you a sense of their communication as well. And now the biggest layer of this entire investigation. What has emerged as a network that stretches far, far beyond Punjab. Let's explain the global terror blueprint as well. How all of this goes all the way across to Pakistan's ISI, of course, which is being operated under the failed Marshal Asim Munir. Let's explain to you the connection which is there. There's an ISI-backed network as per the security forces. They are saying that there were funds which were routed via Malaysia. So there was a Malaysia funding route which was used by the ISI as well. And there was a Europe connection as well, because there were handlers who were sitting in Portugal, in Germany as well, who were directing the foot soldiers who are there in Punjab. Remember, that's all they are, foot soldiers. Let's also tell you about the digital recruitment of the trail also, which has now come in. The contact was via social media channels. All of that has now been uncovered by the security agencies. In fact, there were locals who were lured and they were radicalized, and they were being tasked to actually carry out these terror strikes on India's infrastructure. This is what the DGP has to say.
पंजाब पुलिस ने ISI बैक्ड मेजर कॉन्स्पिरेसी ਨੂੰ ਫਾਇਲ ਕਰਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਿਸਟਰਬੈਂਸਸ ਫੈਲਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਾਜ਼ਿਸ਼ ਨਾਕਾਮ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵੈਲ ਲੇਅਰਡ ਕੌਨਸਪੀਰੇਸੀ ਦੀ ਤਾਰਾ ਮਲੇਸ਼ੀਆ, USA ਅਤੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜੀਆਂ ਹੈ। ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਦਾ ਮੇਨ ਹੈਂਡਲਰ ਜੁਝਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ ਸਿਊਡੋਨਮ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਰੇਟਿਵਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ।
Well, let me go across to Bhavtosh Singh, who's joining us with the Super Times Now exclusive, which is setting the agenda. Bhavtosh, please explain to us, how did the Punjab police manage to foil this larger network? Because it appears now The target is not just innocent civilians, the target is India's infrastructure. How did it go from a foiled blast at a railway track to this larger attack which was being planned for India's freight corridor?
Meghna, this is not for the first time that Khalistani terror networks were targeting a dedicated freight corridor. It also happened in January, to be precise, on 24th of January, when a small blast happened on the dedicated freight corridor in Fatehgarh Sahib. That time also there was a minor damage, one can say, happened there, and immediately the police went there and started investigating that case. No arrest happened in that case, but the nature of the explosives that was recovered from there was exactly the same that was seized earlier by the Punjab police, which clearly pointed towards Babbar Khalsa International, which is a proscribed terror outfit. The investigation continued in that case, and then on Monday there was an individual who blew himself, as you identified, that individual who has connections with Amritpal Singh's Varis Punjab, which is a radical outfit. And then when the investigations were being carried out in Taran Taran region, the accused belonged to that particular region. Then this huge cache of arms and explosives were seized, which clearly pointed that ISI is planning not only to target places in Punjab, but also wants to disrupt business activities in Punjab. Now, what is very shocking is the fact that wireless sets are being recovered, which shows that they want to make sure that terrorists are directly in touch with each other. Large quantity of contrabands have been recovered, which shows that they want to finance terror activities using narcotics channel. And importantly, they have also recovered a huge quantity of grenades as well as other explosives. And that's the reason why Punjab police is working in tandem with central agencies, and they have also said that various social media accounts are activated so that individuals can be radicalized.
Well, Bhavtosh, do stay on with us, because even as one terror plot has been unraveled, there's another network which is now being cracked open. Let's tell our viewers about that. Well, this one exposes the scale at which narco and arms pipelines are also operating inside Punjab. In fact, this has been a major breakthrough in Amritsar. Commissionerate of Police has busted a cross-border smuggling module as well, which recovered over 4 kilograms of heroin along with sophisticated weapons. Now, 2 of the accused have been arrested in this case as well. Preliminary findings reveal that there is a direct contact with Pakistan-based smugglers through social media platforms. The recovery includes about 4.108 kilograms, around 4,000 kilograms of heroin, about 4 high-grade pistols, and 5 live cartridges as well. This comes at a time when there are multiple investigations which are currently pointing towards coordinated attempts to destabilize Punjab through this mix of terror modules, targeted sabotage bids, and narco arms supply. And this is the evidence there on your screen. So let me go across to Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, it's important when we look at the cache of arms, but it's not just that, it's also narco-terrorism that now we have hit upon. Tell us about the wider web, how all of this comes in together.
Meghna, we have already seen since 2022 NIA, which is a federal anti-terror probe agency, they have in fact busted several modules of gangsters who have now turned into terrorists. They have also been designated as terrorists, whether it's Arshdeep Dalla or Goldie Barat. They have all in fact have been working in tandem or at least taking instructions from ISI, and have been in fact pumping various narcotics, including high quality heroin in Punjab, which is further then channelized in other parts of the country. Punjab police have just issued a statement in which they have said that at least 10 kgs of heroin have been recovered. Why this is important is primarily because they want to foment trouble in Punjab and other part of the country using the narco-terror route. We have seen such bursts taking place not only in Punjab but also in other parts of the country, particularly in Jammu as well as in Delhi and other parts of the country. Importantly, what they are doing is they are using the gangsters who already have an established network, and they also have members of their own gangs. NIA on its part have busted several such modules, and Punjab police in fact working in tandem with central agencies have also launched a major crackdown. If we just see the number of arrests that have taken place, over 50 persons have been arrested in this month alone. Over 100 kgs of narcotics have been seized, at least 40 to 50 grenades have been seized. It clearly shows that ISI is planning to foment or at least wants to carry out a big terror attack in Punjab, but agencies are at all-time high and various modules have been busted.
Well, Bhavtosh, this is of course coming in at a very sensitive area, which is Punjab, a border area. There are ISI links also which is coming on. But you must explain to us what is the Varis Punjab Day link also which is now coming in. I believe there is a link to Amritpal Singh also, of the man who was killed in the blast while he was trying to detonate the bomb that he was carrying.
Well, when the Punjab police, in fact, recovered the body of the individual who was found at the spot between Shampoo railway track and Rajpur, what they found out is that that individual is associated with Varis Punjab Day. He, in fact, campaigned for Amritpal. But as soon as that investigation was still going on, Meghna, Khalistan Zindabad Force, another proscribed terror outfit which has been banned in India, they claimed responsibility. In fact, they put out a letter on social media claiming that they are responsible for that failed terror plot. So that angle is being probed. But Jagpreet Singh, who in fact died in that blast, he had association with Amritpal Singh and his radical outfit. So that line is also being investigated by agencies. What is very worrying and disturbing is the fact two things. One, that terror outfits are now directly targeting critical economic infrastructure, dedicated freight corridor, and more importantly, what has happened next is that various radical outfits, including Varis Punjab Day, whose chief, in fact, Amritpal Singh managed to win the election in 2024, his members or his outfit members have, in fact, their involvement has been found in the failed sabotage at dedicated freight corridor in Patiala.
Well, very interesting there how this global terror network is coming together. But also, we'd like to highlight that the security forces are at high alert. They've managed to foil this big nexus which was brewing, a big conspiracy which was brewing. Thank you so much, Bhavtosh, for getting us all the details of that. But with that, let's move on in the bulletin. Tell you about a top Jaish-e-Mohammed commander, Maulana Salman Azhar. He's been killed under mysterious circumstances in Punjab's Bahawalpur area. In fact, reportedly, this was after he was hit by an unidentified vehicle in the afternoon yesterday. So who is Maulana Salman Azhar? Well, he is a close aide of the Jaish chief, Masood Azhar. Well, this, remember, in one of the many terrorists who have been killed of late in several of these hit and runs, passing, shootings, which have happened as well. Many of them have been shot, and their assassins have fled. All of these killings of the top terrorists are happening in Pakistan, and now there is a trend which is emerging. And the terrorists who have been killed in a series of such strikes that we have seen across Pakistan in the last month and two have been linked mostly to the LET, the Lashkar-e-Toiba, and the Jaish-e-Mohammed. In this case, it is a Jaish close aide of Jaish chief Masood Azhar who's joining us. In fact, let me go across to Ankit, who's joining us with more details on this. Ankit, we've seen, and this is not an isolated incident. It seems like there's a pattern emerging. The enemies of India, one after the other, dropping like flies in Pakistan.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. From last 15 days, we have seen that unknown gunman has hit almost 2 to 3 elite top commanders, Jaish-e-Mohammed commanders, and this is the latest development which is coming from the Bahawalpur. That unknown gunman has been hitting by the vehicle and he has hit now the Salman, who is the topmost elite commander, and he is very close associated with with Masood Azhar. What we are learning is that in yesterday,
Oh, there seems to be a bit of a problem there with Ankit's audio-video connection. We'll try and reach out to him again. But that is another example which is coming in of enemies of India who have been killed of late. All of this happening in Pakistan. But with that, let's move on in the bulletin. More breaking news which is coming in. It seems to be damage control by Rajnath Singh, many have called it. Well, after outrage over the SCO remarks, Rajnath Singh has called out Pakistan terror. In fact, he calls Pakistan terror as the epicenter of terror, and saying that India stopped Operation Sindoor voluntarily and ready for the long war. Remember, Rajnath Singh was criticized by the opposition parties for not naming Pakistan explicitly in his address of the SCO. But today, Rajnath Singh has said that India has always seen that countries such as Pakistan have consistently supported terrorism, and this is why both India and Pakistan have gained independence at the same time. But today, India is known worldwide for its information technology, while Pakistan is considered the epicenter of terror.
कि पाकिस्तान जैसे देश लगातार आतंकवाद को समर्थन देते आए हैं और यही कारण है कि भारत और पाकिस्तान दोनों एक ही समय आजाद हुए, लेकिन आज भारत को पूरी दुनिया में जहां इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए जाना जाता है, वहीं पाकिस्तान दूसरे आईटी यानी इंटरनेशनल टेररिज्म का मरकज माना जाता है। साथियों, हमारा यह ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हमारी सेनाओं के बीच ज्वाइंटनेस की भी एक मिसाल थी। आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स सबने एक साथ और एक योजना के तहत यह दिखा दिया कि भारत की सैन्य शक्ति अब साइलोस में काम नहीं करती है, बल्कि यह एक ज्वाइंट इंटीग्रेटेड और ग्लोबल पावर के रूप में उभर चुकी है। यह ऑपरेशन इसलिए नहीं बंद किया कि हमारी क्षमता कम हो गई थी, हमने उसे अपनी मर्जी से अपनी शर्तों पर रोका और अगर जरूरत पड़ती तो हम लंबी लड़ाई के लिए भी पूरी तरह से तैयार थे।
Well, let me go across to Mayank, who's joining us with more details. At the SCO, the Raksha Mantri had not explicitly named Pakistan, but today he was explicit that there is a reason why India and Pakistan both having gained independence today. Look where we are, and Pakistan continues to be the hub of terror. Not pulling any punches today.
So, 7th of this month of May will be the anniversary of Operation Sindoor, in which, and the way the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has mentioned, it was a joint operation carried out by the Air Force and Army on ground, in which 9 terrorist establishments and infrastructure were destroyed by the forces of India. So, coming to this, actually, in this case, what he's talking is to signify that point only, the way uncertainty has been brought into the minds of the terrorists who will be operating, even if deeper inside 200 kilometers from Pakistan, they'll be chased and they'll be destroyed the way Operation Sindoor had shown the world in that case. So, I mean, coming back to the statement, the way Rajnath Singh or our defense minister has specified these things, which means this will continue in case of requirement, in case any operations on India takes place. And SCO being a grouping of nations wherein only the common agendas are, or the points on which there is unanimity, they are issued. That's why there are certain, there are procedures which are followed in cases of such official statements which come out.
You're absolutely right. There are protocols, and of course, India follows the protocols. Let me go across to Colonel Arsan Singh, who's joining us, an author, strategic analyst. Colonel Singh, what do you make of this statement, this messaging going out from the Raksha Mantri very significantly right ahead of the anniversary of Operation Sindoor?
I think this statement was the imperative of the day because, Pakistan was trying to assume a big profile, improved profile, I would say, by, accidentally being the mediator in the West Asia crisis. So here is India, which is reminding the world that, you are betting upon a terrorist state. And we are telling the world that has Pakistan abandoned its terrorist outfits. And, this is the right occasion to reiterate our commitment, in fighting against terrorism, notwithstanding the fact that whatever profile that, they are being bestowed upon by, past that they are trying to acquire, we are fully convinced that this proxy war has to be stopped. Sindoor was one big leap, It all started with, the surgical strikes, and then we went inside Pakistan. We crossed the IB, dealt with Balakot, and then Operation Sindoor, is a new paradigm, and we intend to go even further than this to secure our country. Don't you think, ma'am, that we have a right to secure our country?
Absolutely.
I think
there are no
every
two ways about
Indian
it.
does. Huh?
There are no two ways about it. India has the right to draw the red line when it comes to national security. Appreciate it, Colonel Singh, for joining us. In fact, let's listen in once again to what the Raksha Mantri has to say. A scathing attack and a reminder to Pakistan that today they may be trying to improve their social standing within the global leaders, but at the end of it, they remain the epicenter of terror.
कि पाकिस्तान जैसे देश लगातार आतंकवाद को समर्थन देते आए हैं और यही कारण है कि भारत और पाकिस्तान दोनों एक ही समय आजाद हुए, लेकिन आज भारत को पूरी दुनिया में जहां इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए जाना जाता है, वहीं पाकिस्तान दूसरे आईटी यानी इंटरनेशनल टेररिज्म का मरकज माना जाता है। साथियों, हमारा यह ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हमारी सेनाओं के बीच ज्वाइंटनेस की भी एक मिसाल थी। आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स सबने एक साथ और एक योजना के तहत यह दिखा दिया कि भारत की सैन्य शक्ति अब साइलोस में काम नहीं करती है, बल्कि यह एक ज्वाइंट इंटीग्रेटेड और ग्लोबल पावर के रूप में उभर चुकी है। यह ऑपरेशन इसलिए नहीं बंद किया कि हमारी क्षमता।
Well, with that, let's move on in the bulletin. Another big breaking news which is coming in regarding the massive slugfest that we have seen between Himanta Biswa Sarma and Pawan Khera of the Congress Party, which of course has reached the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is hearing Pawan Khera's anticipatory bail plea. He moves the Supreme Court, remember, after the Guwahati High Court had refused to give him anticipatory bail plea. Even as we speak, the Supreme Court has begun hearing the senior Congress leader Pawan Khera's anticipatory bail plea. In fact, let me go across to Bhavtosh, who's joining us with more details on this. This regarding Riniki Sharma and the allegations against her, the Chief Minister's wife, holding 3 foreign passports, which on the face of it, as per what we are picking up from our sources in the investigative agencies, Bhavtosh, is not true. On what grounds is this anticipatory bail plea been moved, and why did it get rejected the last time around?
Yes, Meghna, in fact, our legal editor is giving us updates from the Supreme Court. One of the important points that has been raised by Justice Maheshwari is that Section 338 of IPC, which is now replaced by BNS, he has said that forgery of valuable documents is punishable up to 10 years and also till life. And that's the reason why he should not, what he's hinting is that he should not be given bail. To which Singhvi has said that intention of the Assam police and government is to only harass him and to humiliate him. He also said that the Guwahati High Court, while rejecting his bail plea of anticipatory bail plea of Pawan Khera, has completely did not apply its mind, and the hearing is still going on.
Well, the hearing is still on right here on Times Now. We'll get you the very latest. Thank you so much, Bhavtosh. We'll leave it there. With that, we are going to be wrapping up, setting the agenda. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, I'll see you again tomorrow, 12 noon, right here on Times Now.